You have somebody connected in your circles that goes to Howard and you get a taste of it, you can't get rid of it.
Well, I'm here with the one and only William Roberson. One, thank you for being here. Like, you're super, super busy. This man, I don't even know that I have words. So I've known Will for a while now. Yeah. So he's also a graduate of Howard University's dance program. And I believe you are the third male to graduate from the program.
Duke William.
Yes. So you. Okay.
Certain. Okay.
And we'll talk about the weight of the legacy. We will talk about that. But you know, your career has has gone through so many different phases, and you have been able to traverse concert, commercial theater, production. Yeah. And so like I think that it's very important for people to understand, like, you know, even as a freelancer, there's got to be a strategy based on your own through line.
Yes.
And that's something that you've done so phenomenally well. And it has been so beautiful. It's been a blessing, and it's been really inspiring to be able to see. Okay, but it's the truth. And I think that like it's not often enough that we get to share these moments and kind of acknowledge and affirm them. So I absolutely have to do that. But I have a burning question. What was it like to work with Billy Porter? So in 2019, you know, before the pandemic happened, I'm minding my business, and I just happened to scroll through social media, and I see, you know, Billy Porter has a new video out. And then...
Sorry, actually, it's 2021.
2021.
It was.
Okay, so it was after the pandemic.
It was right after the pandemic.
Right after the pandemic. Okay. So scrolling again, always scrolling through social media. And I don't even think I realized that you had posted it because I just saw Billy Porter pop up on my timeline. And then I'm scrolling, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I know that man.
And I wasn't even advertising like major because
Clearly. Clearly.
I'm honestly not good about advertising the work that I do because for a long time I'll just be transparent. I wasn't proud of the work I was doing. It didn't revere me the way I looked at other people like you. And I was very self-conscious about it. And I had like an imposter syndrome or something. That's some moments in life. But what made me really step into that light was just, you know, I was listening to Spotify one day. And, you know, Spotify has like those images of like, if there's a music video, they'll show like snippets of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm scrolling, and they just happened to have Billy Porter, like before they released the video, they released a track on Spotify. And I was like, I'll listen to it. But I didn't know it already had clips of video attached to it. And it had a clip of me, and I bawled.
Oh.
I instantly bawled, and I was like, that's me on my phone.
Yes.
Attached to Billy Porter performing his new debut single. I'm not gonna lie, I still have moments of imposter syndrome, but looking back at that video is one of the hallmarks of my career, saying like, you've done some good work.
You've done amazing work. And yeah, I hope I'm one of those people that gets to continue to remind you of how amazing the work that you've been doing is. Yeah, like it's gorgeous. If you've not seen it, tell people how to see it.
Oh, you can go see it on YouTube. Look up Billy Porter Children's Music Video, or you can go to my Instagram page, THEWCR, otherwise the WCR on Instagram.
Yeah, and it's really beautiful. I think also, you know, coming out of the pandemic, people were looking for hopeful images, ones that honored all walks of life, different aspects of life, and the positive moments that we could celebrate. Because like we were struggling to find things to celebrate, you know, after the initial impact of the pandemic hit. So thank you for being a part of that.
Any way that I can contribute to making someone's life happier, lighter, more at peace, I feel like I've done one of my jobs of being on this earth. You know?
And you're doing it.
Y'all, that's my big sis, so I'm gonna get like geeking out. So I love you.
That's bad. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you went to Howard. What made you go to Howard, first of all?
So my cousin, Miranda Anderson, who is also going to Broadway, you'll see her in Yellowface this fall.
Yes, so excited for her.
I'm so excited. It's a great season. But she was at Howard and not long before me, but she was ahead of me. And I always admired her and her work ethic. She always inspired me as an artist. She's a musical theater artist. She was not a dancer, so I don't know how I got caught up in dancing. Actually,
It was the Howard vibes, though.
the Howard vibes is real. Like, once you have somebody connected in your circles that goes to Howard and you get a taste of it, you can't get rid of it. Once you go back, you can't go back.
Yeah,
No, but it was literally that. My cousin was my inspiration going to Howard. And then when I got to Howard, actually, when I auditioned at Howard, I didn't believe I was going to break into that dance program because, as you know, that program is no joke. I was like on the last day of that intensive, which was 7 days, and it was started from 8 a.m. and ended at 9 p.m.
Okay, so for those who don't know, historically, Howard University's dance major program has had a 6 to 7 day intensive that was actually the precursor for admission into the dance program. You could have been accepted to university, but in order to become an actual dance major, it still might have been probationary. You had to complete. You know, I always called it survival of the focused because it didn't matter how fit you were.
If your spirit and your mind aren't right,
it was not going to happen. And so when I was there, our mornings oftentimes started at 6 in the morning and didn't end until 10 or 11. So yeah, I mean, still 8 to 9, any of those hours, any of those hours were long. So I can understand your apprehension and maybe a little bit of trepidation about your entrance.
by baby, I was like, is this really what I'm trying to do?
It'll go inside.
Yeah, but it really did shine a light on the fact that I did want to dance for a living. I did want to make it my mode of being an artist. I wanted to show that dance was my expression that God had given me to use. So Howard was a challenge, but it made me exactly who I needed to be.
Wow.
I mean, I'll say that respectfully because, every journey has their ups and downs.
Of course.
And not everybody has the same experiences,
Yeah.
let alone the same lows that they carry. But I will say through it all, the good and the challenging, that Howard's dance program really did mold me and guide me in a way that I don't think any other institution or we call it academy would have done.
Yeah, shout out to HBCUs.
Right.
Okay. So, again, the legacy that you carry being only the third man to come and graduate from the program. Many have entered. Not many have graduated. And it's not because they weren't capable, but there's so much that's involved that it's not just the physical aspect.
Correct.
And so, which is really true representation of what this industry is like. So you were operating and being held accountable as a professional before you even had. Listen, I remember it. Yeah,
I said it's day 3. Y'all already calling me what? But yeah, it's that's the weight of being a Black artist, and specifically being a Black artist from Howard University, because there is one. Not to toot our horn. There is a different weight that comes with coming from a prestigious agency like Howard because of the legacy of people that have come through it, because of the work that goes into maintaining that legacy from the current students to the ones who have, become alumni. It's like Lindsay was not kidding. Like, it's not everybody is fit, not just for the dance program, but for Howard, just for the Black experience, because it really does not only show you who you are, but it shows you who you are in relation and correlation to the people around you, to your diaspora, to even your upbringing. Like, how do you relate back to your family, to the people who you grew up with? And
Facts. Facts. Wow.
I can't give enough praise for what it's done.
Same. So, okay. So yes, survived and thrived at Howard. And so, when you graduated, you moved up to New York. And so I know that you worked with Ronald K. Brown, and then you went into production. So what was that like? And I understand that the balance of being an artist and providing for yourself.
It's kind of like synonymous. I mean, at this point, at this era of being an artist in New York, I feel like that's kind of like that is 2 in 1. You cannot be an artist in New York without thriving and having multiple sources of expanding your skill set, using your services to invest in your capabilities. Like, I graduated Howard with a personal training certification and a group fitness certification, and already having my foot in the door with a dance company. So when I was with Ronald K. Brown, I was already doing side hustles and working, trying to make a hustle.
So you were prepared.
I was prepared. And that's one thing Howard did teach me, was that, like, you're not going to always have a good stream of income doing solely your artistry. So what are you going to do to supplement your income?
Right.
So
building those other skills.
It was imperative. Like, I had to graduate with 3 jobs already running down my own.
Not playing. So tell me about how you got into production with Ailey.
Now, that's a very interesting story. So, Hope Boykin, who is an alum of the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, also an alum of Howard, she was my mentor. She came back to choreograph during my sophomore. So, actually, I got to backtrack. My first year of Howard was my sophomore year in my matriculation of college.
Right.
She came that first year, then she came back the following year.
Mm-hmm.
That following year was when, like, she took me under her wing when we became really close. Fast forward, I'm graduating, and we've been working together. She has her own dance company, Hope Boykin Dance, and I was working with her at the time. And so she was still with Ailey, good friends with the board department head, who said they were looking for an assistant. So at this time, I was transitioning out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I talked to Hope and I was like, do you have anything? She was like, I actually have a friend. How do you feel about working in production? I was like, say yes to anything. So I'm not going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest is history. I signed on as a production assistant 2013 for City Center and have been with Ailey ever since.
Wow. Talk about longevity and sustainability as a freelance artist. So I think a lot of times when people, especially parents, think about their child, their young artist, or even just professional artists in general, freelancing, it can get a little bit scary because there's so many things that you cannot calculate, you can't plan for. I mean, and this is probably true with most artists because the economy is going to do what it's going to do and the arts are going to endure.
Right.
But what was it about being able to be in a position of being behind the scenes that even helped fuel beyond financially, helped fuel you as a performer?
It gave me more respect for not only my craft, but the craft that keeps art alive.
Mm.
Are the cracks, because it's multiple things that go into in every facet of art and life. I was working in wardrobe, so my primary responsibilities were focused on costuming, maintenance of costuming, assistant jobs, running errands, and that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, non-essential, but essential stuff.
Yeah.
But being in those positions and having those opportunities to see things on the outside or from the side view really did give a better perspective on, like, oh, there's a bigger world outside of just me and this dance. Like, it's not just me wanting to dance.
Mm-hmm.
It's me wanting to dance with people who also do lighting, people who want to do the sound technician, people who want to make the costumes, and these are people who dedicate their lives the way I dedicated my life to the art. So it makes it a very holistic experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it just puts things in perspective that, like, you're not doing this alone. You did not get here by yourself. And I'm constantly reminded that it takes more than just you to make this happen.
Yeah. And speaking of making it happen, you have successfully been able to navigate concert dance, musical theater, commercial Broadway, and being on the screen.
You know, when you say it like that, I guess I do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, as a freelancer, being able to navigate all those spaces is truly amazing. So please tell us what you are doing now.
Right now, I am wow, I'm really about to cry. So, mm, it's a long period.
Yeah. The beautiful one.
Oof. So thankful. Okay. Right now, I'm on Broadway.
Yes.
I am a swing of 8 dancers, and I am a fight captain and a dance captain.
For
Sorry. It's just for the show Hell's Kitchen, which is a show that's loosely based off Alicia Keys and features all of her original music.
and choreographed by
You forget all the things. Okay.
no.
And choreographed by the wonderful and illustrious Camille Brown.
And so, we've gone through award season, and it's been a Tony Tony Award winning production, as well as nominated for lots and lots of areas. And so, before making your Broadway debut, you've been working with Camille.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of going from the concert world into commercial theater, what was that transition like as it relates to working with someone like Camille as a performer, as a dancer, but also someone who came from, a very, very formal concert dance training background?
Yeah. That is one of the parallels that really drew us together. I would say it has kept us together is our understanding that we come from a different pedigree, upbringing. Which isn't to say like it's either greater or lesser than. It's just to say
Different.
It's just different. And it informs us in a way that a lot of people don't have access to. And I'll put it this way: it's like Camille, like you said, has come from the traditional concert world, but watching her journey from being a concert dancer to being a concert choreographer to being a theater choreographer to being a TV and film choreographer, it's her trajectory in some ways parallels mine coming from concert world, and I'm always looking at her to see like how she's doing it. And it's been so enlightening and it's inspiring because she's doing it gracefully. It's not easy watching her. Like you said, being in production, I get to see a lot of things that people don't get to see. And one of the things I do get to see is the fight that a lot of people don't see and acknowledge often that they should, which is a fight that we do consistently. Like Black artists consistently and still to this day fight to be seen, to be heard, to be valued.
Yeah.
And it's so inspiring to watch that woman to keep pushing through despite her seemingly setbacks.
Yeah. And, speaking of her work, it's so beautiful to see that the social dance and movement is part of the foundation of how she puts images about us out into the world, and also it's part of the philosophy. So looking at her work, you see the call and response, you see the improv, you see the dynamics that are related to the energy and the exchange based on that and timing, and in the structure, like there's still structure there, so much structure, so much structure.
Mama does her research. Okay?
Yes, and to see how beautiful it is that it is part of the representation of us. And so I know that a lot of what we experience when we're watching it, it reminds us of the relationships that we have, like the familial and, just those good connections that we have. How has that impacted? How has relationships and connections impacted how you perform that kind of work and also your journey?
That's very. It's good because it's layered. And layered in the sense of it targets. Let me answer the question. It informs me in a way that I wish concert dance in general had informed me. And because I started through concert dance, so I started in Howard, which we got ballet, we got modern slash, which was derived from broken down to Horton and Graham. We had African, and every so often we had tap or jazz. And those are like art. That's how I was structured into as far as introduced into the dance world. So breaking away from that to do something that is social dance, something that comes naturally to me, something that not in comparison, but if you stack it next to concert dance, it's almost looked down upon in the concert dance world. Or at one time it was. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's had a journey.
It's had a journey.
Yes.
But then, and I'm going to say it's because of Camille. A huge part of it is due to Camille. As far as getting it more popularized and bringing more awareness to it in the commercial theater realm. But yes, it has informed me in a way that has made me own my blackness in a different way. And it's made me own myself and hold myself differently in spaces that I previously wouldn't. I will say I've had a journey with understanding her work because I always say about Camille's work, this is not new to her. She's true to this. So even in her concert work, she's been speaking these narratives. She's been using these forms of expression consistently. So this work that you're seeing on a theater stage is nothing unfamiliar to what she's been doing.
So the rest of the world is really getting a treat.
Yes.
Because this is been a part of the larger and a bigger picture of how she has seen movement that represents us, that continues to reinforce the culture. And, to say that you have been a part of a process, a part of projects, and a part of a mission that allows you to reinforce your Blackness and celebrate it and see the beauty of it on a daily basis.
Not many people can say that. And I was not tearing up. I can honestly say, with the exception of one dance company that I've worked with, most, if not all of my dance spaces have been black. If not because of communal, because of Hope Waking, because of my Howard connections.
So relationships are important.
Keep those bridges intact. Okay? No, but seriously, I most of my jobs have been in black spaces and by word of mouth because of the relationships I've maintained in the years, and because of the work I was doing at Howard.
Yeah. So take a journey with me for a moment.
Going back.
So let's say that we are on day 4 of the 6 or 7 day intensive, the beginning of your first year before you started a dance program.
Exactly.
What would you say to that William Roberson now, knowing what you know now, knowing what it took to get to this point, knowing some of the thoughts, some of the doubts, some of the fears, some of the insecurities, some of the challenges, some of the people that you'd encounter, some of the things you get to celebrate. What would you tell him now?
First of all, maybe I was stressed during that week. No, but I would tell myself at the time, don't second guess yourself. Your intuition is 9 times it's uncorrect. Even when you're not sure, you have the right people in your life to guide you. I think that's the biggest thing. Only because It's funny. I told you I can literally tell you what happened that 6th day of the 7th day. So during our week intensive, we used to always have to write papers every day.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And our 6th day was 6th day or 7th day. Either one of those days was like our adjudication day.
With the presentation. Yes.
But no, it was the 6th day because the 7th day was the last day of all dancing. I was like, this is not going to end. But my last day, I had to do presentation. I did the paper. I did it 6 days already. I was trained. And
The oral presentation.
The oral presentation.
Mm-hmm. Next to the paper.
And so all the professors were lined up at the table listening and adjudicating. And I finished the presentation. I walk off, sit down, and then I immediately go to the bathroom because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it in. I was new to dance, so I also didn't like have all the proper dance attire. I wore my leotard over my tights. I was doing all the things. And so I was just like, I just hope I make it in. And so I went up to Denise Summers Thompson, otherwise known as DST. And I was like, can you just please let me in? I really want to make it in. She's like, you made it in the first day you got it. I was like, and it's just,
making me tear up, man.
it's one of those moments where it's like, I am doing, if I can go back to myself and really talk to myself, I would tell myself, you are doing the work. You have done the work to get you here, and you have the work ethic to get you to wherever you want to go. And trust in that. That is the biggest.
Trust in it. William, I first of all, I'm coming to see the show.
We have 8 shows a week. Come see us.
Yes, I'm so excited. I get to see some of the beautiful things that you're talking about. But I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful. I'm so excited about the journey that you're on and the things that you see for yourself and how your experiences have shaped your view and your vision. And it's just big sis is happening. I'm excited for you. And I'm going to do whatever I can to continue celebrating with you.
And the same goes for you, celebrating you too. She's my big sister, not because she's my big sister, but she's my big sister because she really does lead in a way that a big sister does. She stands with grace and beauty. She dances with so much artistic expression, and she's an amazing choreographer. Broadway World Review. But yes, I truly try to work hard to follow in my big brothers and sisters' footsteps. And I as I was told Dr. Johnson would say, Aluna continuum. I will always make sure the work continues.
Well, on that note, thank you.
You are the best.
Oh my gosh. You are amazing. This is wonderful.